Hey YouTube, this is Mr. King Liam, and today I'm bringing to you my second of my updated top 10 video series. It is my top 10 most advantage / giving cards. Now this is my Christmas special, and of course the meaning of Christmas is supposed to be about giving. So I decided to make a top 10 episode about what cards in the game, what legal cards are currently give you the most advantage, and also give you the most like special summoning, draw power, revival, that sort of thing. There is one rule, however, in this top list. The cards in this list, they cannot feature destructive effects. So that means things like Starlight Road, which negates an effect, are not on this list. Sixth Sense, which even though it has a lot of draw power, it does have the ability of sending cards to the graveyard, and also cards like, of course, Dark Hole and MST. So cards like that are not on this list. It's mainly things like, well, like I said, it's draw power, revival, and special summons. So anyway, let's get into the top 10. At number 10, we have Trade-In. Now the reason I decided to put this one on the list is because quite a few decks these days do use level 8 monsters, so Trade-In gives you quite a big advantage. There's decks ranging from, of course, the Blue Eyes deck, there's Ritual decks, more specifically Gishikis, or Gishkis, sorry. I think Grapha is level 8 in Dark World, but I'm not 100% certain. But Trade-In can be used for quite a few. Nearly forgot Photon / Galaxy as well. That Trade-In can be used in that. Number 9 is Card Car D. Now the reason Card Car D is this high, so is this low on the list, is because yes, it gives you draw power, but it means you have to skip your battle phase and secondary phase, and that can leave you a bit of a disadvantage. However, the two cards with certain decks, you can just play defensive, and Card Car will get the draw power you need. At number 8, we have Summoner Monk. Now, yes, I'm gonna point out this immediately. There is a theme with level 4 Exceed summoning on this list, and Summoner Monk I'd have to say would probably have to be the lowest, mainly because of what you need to special summon. Other cards also need a card to be discarded. However, with Summoner Monk, it has to be a specific card. It has to be a spell card. That can leave you at a little bit of a disadvantage, I suppose. A little bit of a disadvantage, but of course when you get the rank 4 you can easily make up for that problem. Number 7, we have Rescue Rabbit. Now Rescue Rabbit is another one of those cards where you need to get rid of a card. The difference between this and Summoner Monk, of course, is that Rescue Rabbit goes to the graveyard and then you bring out two normal monsters. Now this can be used in quite a few decks. It can be used in Evil Swarm, Elemental Hero, Gem Knights, and of course random normal monster decks. Personally, the reason I put it higher than Summoner Monk is because, well, like I said, the spell cards I'd say is more useful, so it's not a good idea to discard them, and Rescue Rabbit gets banished instead. Number 6, we have Pot of Duality. Now, in this day and age, a lot of the draw cards are now banned. Of course, we have Pot of Greed, which is banned. Part of Avarice, which is another recovery card, which is banned. If that wasn't banned, actually, that would probably be quite high on my list, if I'm honest. The reason I put this instead of things like Shard of Greed is because you can pick specifically the card you want. Shard of Greed, you have to wait 2 turns, and that can leave it vulnerable to an opponent's spell cards or trap cards. So that's why I decided to put Duality on this list. Number 5, Call the Haunted. This one doesn't really need much explaining. It gets you special summons from the graveyard, and of course, especially since Monster Reborn is now banned, this is a more useful card, I'd say, than ever. Number 4, Goblinburg. Now this is the highest of my rank 4 special summons, mainly because Goblinburg only requires you to have one card in your hand to use this ability. Basically summon out Goblinburg and then you can get out the rank 4 very easily. Number 3, we have Maxie. Now Maxie, the reason this, personally I don't use Maxie, I barely use it, even if I do run index. But the reason I decided to put this on the list was because, of course, the current format. You've got prophecies, you've got evil swarms, you've got, and of course, dragon rulers. So Maxie can be a very useful card, especially against dragon rulers. So it can give you a good amount of draw power. So that can leave you with quite a good advantage in your next turn, depending on what you draw. Number 2, Yugioh Emerald. Now, as some of you may know, if you would have seen my my first top 10 video, top 10 exceeds, Yugioh Emerald was my favourite monster. The reason was because you could either special summon a normal monster, which was good in an Elemental Hero or Gemini deck, or you could just retrieve some cards from the graveyard. So overall, it was a very good card for recycling. It's basically a pot of avarice of the exceeds. And number 1 on this list, a few people might have been able to guess, it's Return from the Different Dimension. Now, of course, in quite a few decks, Dragon Rulers, I think Evil Swarms might be one, but I'm not sure, and any sort of banished format deck, Return from the Different Dimension is a very good card for the player to use. Oh yeah, the main deck I use this card in is Larvals, because basically I just use things like, I just basically use Return from the Different Dimension and then swarm the field. Return from the Different Dimension is a very good card, however if you're the opponent it's a very bad card. And a lot of people said this card should be banned, and I kind of had mixed feelings about that, because if Return for the Different Dimension is banned, Larvals will certainly get a big hit. Will certainly lose a key card in my opinion. However, Return for the Different Dimension would affect Dragon Rulers, and I think that would probably have to come first before that, like Larvals. So anyway, there is my top 10 giving/advantage cards in the current format. Now I should mention this video is being made before the ban list, before the update ban list is revealed. So I'm not sure which any of these cards will be affected. Rescue Rabbit could go back up to 2. I'm hoping that will happen actually. Return from the Different Dimension could be banned, and so on and so on. But at the moment of recording this video, this is, in my opinion, the top 10 most giving/advantage cards that a person can play. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and stay tuned, because top 10 is taking a 2-week break. Of course, next week is the Christmas week, so there won't be a top 10. However, I will be back. The top 10 will be back for a New Year's special, going over the top 10 archetypes of 2013. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and this is Mr. King Liam saying bye YouTube.